Do you have a 1994 quarter with a little p under the date? That tiny letter could mean you're holding a coin worth almost $1 million. I'm not kidding. Today, we're diving into a rare 1994 P Washington quarter that sold for up to $956,000 and how to tell if your pocket change might make you rich. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know what to look for, where to check, and how to cash in big time if you're lucky. Let's get straight into it. So what makes a normal looking 25-cent coin from 1994 potentially worth nearly $1 million? It all comes down to three things. 1. Minting errors. 2. Condition. And 3. Rarity. First, the mint mark. If your coin has a tiny letter P just above the R and quarter dollar, that means it was made at the Philadelphia Mint. Now, most 1994 P quarters are super common. Over 1.1 billion were made. That's billion with a B. But, and this is a big but, a few of them were struck with serious mint errors. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, and a crazy rare high-grade full strike error that sold for up to $956,000 in a private auction. Flip your coin over to the obverse side, that's the front with George Washington's face. Look closely at the word Liberty, especially the L and the I. If they look thick, almost like they have shadows or a second outline, that could be a double die. Then check the ear. Is the 1994 sharply struck? Or does it look slightly doubled or distorted? That could be another major sign. Now turn the coin over to the reverse, with the eagle. Look at the arrows and the feathers. Any signs of doubling or unusual sharpness there can also mean you're looking at a valuable error. This is big. Most quarters in circulation are scratched up. But the rarest coins are in what's called MS67 or higher. That means mint state, basically perfect, just like it came out of the machine. Only a few 1994 P quarters have ever been graded MS67 or higher. And that's where the value shoots up. In fact, a top condition example of this coin, with a strong strike and near flawless surfaces, sold for $956,000. Yes, $956,000, almost $1 million. Look at the high points. Washington's hair, the eagle's chest, the edges. If there's no wear, no scratches, and it still has its original shine, you might be in business. But to be sure, send it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. That's what serious collectors use to verify coins. Now you're probably wondering, how likely is it to find one? Not easy. But not impossible. Most $1 million finds came from people who didn't know what they had until they took a second look. Someone found a rare quarter in a bankroll. Another person spotted one in a coin jar.so. Check your change. Look through your old coin collection. Ask your grandparents. You never know. Before we wrap up, quick bonus tips: check the edge of your quarter. If it's smooth instead of reeded, or if it looks like it has a split or misaligned edge, that could be another valuable mint error. And remember, even if yours isn't worth $956,000, some 1994 P quarters with small errors still sell for $100 to $500 or more. Not bad for a 25-cent coin, right? Go check your quarters. Look for that 1994 P, examine the lettering, the date, and both sides of the coin. And if you find anything weird or off, don't spend it. Get it checked. If you learned something new today, hit that like button. Subscribe for more rare coin videos. And drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Thanks for watching. And remember, sometimes the biggest treasures are hiding in plain sight. Have you ever had almost $1 million sitting in your pocket without even knowing it? One ordinary looking coin from 1965 has sold for a jaw-dropping $956,000. That's right. A quarter. 25 cents. So why is this tiny coin worth more than a Ferrari? Let's find out. This is not just a coin story. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to possibly find one of the rarest errors in modern U.S. coin history. We're talking about a Washington quarter that looks totally normal to the untrained eye, but to collectors, it's pure gold. Well, actually, it's silver. And that's the secret. Let's rewind. The year is 1965. The U.S. Mint had just stopped making silver quarters. From 1932 to 1964, quarters were 90% silver. But starting in 1965, to save money, they switched to a copper-nickel mix. But here's the twist, some quarters dated 1965 were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from the previous year. These are called transitional errors. They were never supposed to exist. But a few of them got out. And now, the hunt is on. These quarters look almost identical to regular ones. Same design. Same size. Same date. But there's one huge difference. The metal.so. How can you tell if you're holding one of the rare silver errors? First, check the edge. A normal 1965 quarter has a brownish copper edge. If yours is solid silver colored all the way around, that's the first clue. Second, weigh it. A copper nickel quarter weighs 5.67 grams. A silver quarter weighs around 6.25 grams. That tiny difference could be worth a fortune. Still not sure? You'll need a professional coin grader or a metal analysis. But if it checks out, you're looking at a coin worth tens of thousands. In one shocking case, a 1965 silver quarter graded MS-68 sold at auction for an unbelievable $956,000. That's life-changing money, and it doesn't stop there. Even less than perfect examples can sell for thousands. If your 1965 quarter is silver, even in worn condition, it's rare. Collectors will pay top dollar. These coins are so rare because the mint tried to prevent this exact error. But a few still escaped into circulation. Some have been found in old rolls, in change jars, even in junk drawers. So yeah, you might actually be sitting on one.so. What should you do right now? Go check your coin stash. Look at every 1965 quarter. Look for that silver edge. Weigh it if you can. And if anything seems off, get it checked out, because the next person to find one of these could be you. And that one tiny coin could pay off your house. If you love rare coins and hidden treasures, hit that subscribe button. There are more valuable coins hiding in plain sight, and I'm here to show you where. Don't miss the next one. Your $1 million coin might just be one video away. You might want to check your pocket change right now, because one rare quarter from 1995 with a tiny little D mint mark could be worth close to $1 million. Yes, almost 1 million. This isn't just hype. There's a coin that sold for a jaw-dropping $956,000, and it's turning the coin world upside down. So how does a 25-cent coin explode in value like that? Let's break it down, and I'll show you what to look for. Because if you've got one hiding in a drawer somewhere, it might just change your life. Now the coin we're talking about is the 1995 D Washington quarter. That D stands for the Denver Mint. Millions of these were produced, over 1 billion, in fact. So why is one worth nearly $1 million? It's not just about the year or the mint mark. It's about of them. The coin that brought in close to $1 million wasn't just your average quarter. It was in an almost perfect grade on the Sheldon coin grading scale, where 70 is flawless. But what made this particular 1995 D quarter so special was that collectors would fight tooth and nail for. Some were struck on the wrong metal planchet. Some had double dies. Others had off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or major die breaks that looked like the coin was cracked in production. One of the most valuable was a double die strike combined with an off-metal error. Imagine a quarter struck on a dime planchet or foreign metal. Now that's rare, and the market? It exploded. One coin like that, authenticated and graded by PCGS or NGC, skyrocketed in value when it went up for auction. That's where the $956,000 sale came from, a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Now here's what you should do. Grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom camera. Check your 1995 D quarters carefully. Look for any signs of doubling on the words Liberty or In God We Trust. Look at Washington's profile. Does anything look off? Is there extra thickness on the letters? That could be a double die. Flip the coin and look at the eagle. Are the feathers distorted or shadowed strangely? That's another sign. Also, weigh the coin. A standard quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If yours is significantly lighter or heavier, you could have an off-metal error coin on your hands. Now I have to be honest, not every 1995 D quarter is valuable. Most are worth 25 cents. But the rare ones, especially if graded MS-65 or higher with a known mint error, could be worth hundreds, thousands, or in the rarest case up to $956,000. But so what do you do if you think you have one? Don't clean it. Never clean a coin. That can destroy its value instantly. Instead, store it safely and take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These services will authenticate the coin, identify the error, grade it, and encapsulate it in a tamper-proof case. That step alone could be the difference between a few dollars and a few $100,000. And here's a fun fact: there are still coins like this out there. People don't check their change. They don't look twice at an old quarter. But the coin collecting world is full of surprises, and lightning can strike in your very own wallet. Before I go, let me leave you with this: a 25-cent coin made in 1995, from one of the most common mint years, sold for nearly $1 million not because it was old, but because it was rare. Rare in error. Rare in condition. Rare in history. So next time you get a quarter back in change, don't toss it aside. It might just be your golden ticket. Thanks for watching. Did you know a simple 25-cent coin from 1966 could be worth over today? Yeah, you heard that right. Just one quarter, no mint mark, no silver, worth nearly $1 million. Let's talk about how and why. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive into coins, collectibles, and crazy cash finds you might already have in your pocket. If you've got a jar of old coins sitting at home, you might be sitting on a goldmine. So don't go anywhere. Let's talk about the 1966 Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter. George Washington on the front, the eagle on the back, and no mint mark. It was made during a time when the US Mint was pumping out millions of coins due to a coin shortage. In fact, over 800 million of these quarters were produced in 1966. So why is one worth almost $1 million? Because not all coins are created equal. While the majority are common and worth face value, there are a handful that slip through the cracks, coins with errors, unique traits, or incredibly rare conditions that collectors will pay a fortune for. One such 1966 quarter was sold for a mind-blowing what made it so valuable. It was struck on a silver planchet by mistake. Here's what happened. In 1965, the US stopped making quarters with 90% silver and switched to a copper-nickel composition. But a few leftover silver planchets from 1964 accidentally got used in 1966. These are called transitional errors. And they are extremely rare. Imagine finding a silver 1966 quarter when it wasn't supposed to exist. That's like finding a modern car with a 1960s engine under the hood. Now here's the twist. These silver error 1966 quarters look almost identical to regular ones. You can't spot them easily just by looking. You need to weigh them. A normal 1966 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. A silver one? Around 6.25 grams. So if you have a 1966 quarter, grab a precise digital scale. If it's heavier than usual, you could be onto something, but that's not the only reason a 1966 quarter can be valuable. There are also examples graded as that means they're in nearly perfect condition. No scratches, no wear, super sharp details. These pristine quarters are so rare, even without errors, that collectors are willing to pay thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, for them. In fact, one 1966 quarter graded MS68 by PCGS sold for over not bad for 25 cents. So here's what to do. Dig through your coins. Look for 1966 quarters. Weigh them. Check the edges. Silver quarters will not show the copper stripe on the edge. And if it looks flawless, consider getting it graded by a reputable company like PCGS or NGC. A tiny investment in grading could turn your coin into a life-changing payday, and don't forget this: coin values are constantly changing. What's worth $10,000 today might double in 5 years. Or it might not. That's the thrill of coin collecting. It's a mix of history, luck, and knowing what to look for. So the next time you see an old quarter in your change, stop. Look. It might not just be 25 cents. It could be your ticket to nearly a thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video if you learned something new, subscribe for more rare coin finds, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on the next hidden treasure. Did you know that a single quarter from 1993 could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, just 25 cents, pocket change, might make you a fortune. There's a 1993 Washington quarter with a tiny detail that turns it into a jackpot, and people have no idea it's sitting in their spare change. Let's dive into the shocking world of rare coins, and why collectors are offering up to $956,000 for one specific 1993 quarter with a P mint marker. First, let's talk about what makes a coin valuable. It's not just about age. It's about rarity, errors, and condition. And this quarter checks all those boxes. Minted in Philadelphia, this quarter carries the P mint mark, but that's just the beginning. What truly sets it apart are the ultra-rare minting errors that slipped through undetected. One known 1993 P quarter was struck on the wrong planchet. That means the blank metal disc used wasn't even meant for a quarter. In one case, a quarter was struck on a 5-cent planchet. The result? A quarter that's smaller, thinner, and missing key rim details. That bizarre mistake made collectors go wild, and the value skyrocketed, but that's not the only kind of error that makes this coin valuable. There are double dies, where the image appears slightly doubled because it was struck twice by mistake. These can affect Washington's profile, the words "In God We Trust," or the word "Liberty." A dramatic double die can easily push the value into thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. Another key factor is condition. Coins graded at the top of the scale, known as MS68 or MS69, are nearly flawless, with no scratches, no discoloration, and sharp detail. One pristine 1993 P quarter, with a rare error and top-tier grading, sold for close to $956,000 at auction. That's right, someone got nearly $1 million for a single quarter because of how perfect and rare it was. Now here's where it gets crazy. These coins weren't pulled from some secret vault. Most were found by regular people who happened to look closely. That's why it's worth checking your change. Pull out that old jar of coins. Look for 1993 quarters with the P mint mark. Use a magnifying glass if you have to. Check for unusual colors, doubling, strange thickness, or anything that feels off. Even if yours isn't the $1 million version, it could still be worth hundreds or thousands depending on its condition and possible flaws. Let's recap the clues. You want a 1993 quarter. It must have the P mint mark. Look for errors like being struck on the wrong metal, double images, missing details, or off-center strikes. If the coin looks unusual or pristine, it might be time to get it professionally graded. And that's when the serious collectors start making offers. So next time you get a quarter in your hand, take a closer look. You might be holding a tiny fortune. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video eye-opening, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries. Because the next one could be in your pocket right now. Have you ever handed over a quarter, not knowing it could have made you a millionaire? There's one 1989 Washington quarter with a tiny P mint mark that's rumored to be worth up to. Is it real? Is it hype? And could you have one sitting in your pocket right now? Stick around, because what you're about to hear might just change how you look at your spare change forever. The 1989 P Washington quarter sounds ordinary, right? It was minted in Philadelphia, over of them were made. That's a huge number, but here's the twist: there are a few rare versions with so unusual, collectors will pay for the right coin, and one of these is rumored to have sold for nearly a. So what's the deal? Why is one of these coins potentially worth more than a Ferrari? Coins that were struck with mistakes. Here are the ones to look for on a 1989 P quarter, such as coins with multiple errors or struck on foreign metal, can hit six-figure territory. So where did this? The rumor exploded online. 1989 P quarter sells for $956,000. Clickbait articles. TikToks. Shorts with dramatic music. But here's the truth: there is of a 1989 P quarter for that price. The highest verified sales of error coins from 1989 rarely exceed so that $1 million figure. But that doesn't mean your 1989 quarter isn't valuable. Some clean error examples still fetch. It just takes a trained eye and a little luck. Absolutely check your change. You never know. And if you like this video, smash the like button, subscribe for more coin secrets, and tell us in the comments. You might want to check your pocket change right now. Because one ordinary-looking 1980 Washington quarter with a tiny little P mint mark could be worth up to. That's right, a coin worth less than $1 might just make you a millionaire. But why? What makes this quarter so special? Stick around, because we're about to dive into one of the most shocking and valuable U.S. coin discoveries of all time. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932, originally designed to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. These coins were struck in 90% silver until 1964. But by 1980, quarters were made from copper nickel clad, no silver at all. So what's up with the 1980 P quarter? The P mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. That year, over 635 million quarters were struck there. That's a huge number, and usually, high mintage means low value. But here's the twist, one of those coins turned out to be wildly valuable. In the world of rare coins, a few things can launch a coin's value into the stratosphere: mint errors, extremely high grades, and rarity. And the 1980 P quarter? It checks. There's a specific 1980 P quarter graded that's mint state, nearly perfect condition, that made headlines when it was valued close to in a private collector market. Think about that. A regular coin you might find in your change, but preserved so perfectly that it becomes a once-in-a-lifetime find. And now let's break down why this coin is so rare and valuable. First, the most coins from 1980 have scratches, wear, or contact marks. But an MS67 Plus coin is in pristine, nearly untouched condition. That's incredibly hard to find, especially for a coin that's been in circulation for decades. A second, PCGS, the top grading service in the US, has only graded of 1980 P quarters this high. We're talking single digits. That makes it ultra rare. And finally, serious collectors will pay top dollar for high-grade examples of common coins. It's like owning the world's best copy of something everyone else overlooked. So now you're probably wondering, do I have one? Here's what to look for. 1. Check the date, it must be 2. Look for the just next to Washington's ponytail. 3. Inspect the coin's condition. The cleaner, shinier, and more flawless it looks, the better. 4. Look for full, sharp details in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. 5. If you think you've got a gem, get it by PCGS or NGC. And don't forget, some error coins from this year also carry high value. Keep an eye out for off-center strikes, double dies, and other oddities. Millions of these coins were made, but only a few are near perfect. And that's why one tiny quarter from 1980 can sell for almost $1 million. So the next time you get change at the gas station or dig through an old jar of coins, take a closer look. You might be holding something rare. Something historic. Something that could change your life, because hidden treasures aren't just in pirate movies. Sometimes, they're right in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that bell so you never miss another coin worth thousands. Happy hunting, and good luck finding your $1 million quarter.